Playing the little hamster guy is pretty fun. I don't get why everyone hates him. He's got plenty of guns, plenty of armor, plenty of speed, and most importantly of all, no responsibilities. Life as a Hammond player is pretty f***ing good. Don't gotta do much, don't gotta worry about anyone else, just sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Nothing to worry about. Oh. Picking Hammond is basically the worst idea in the world apparently. I'm not even allowed to play him for 10 seconds. I'm not even in the game and I'm already getting told to get off ball. I'm not even in the game yet. And the worst part is, even if you do win, people will be like, well, I don't know, you still f***ing played ball, you piece of shit." Like, what? What's wrong with the ball? GG. The ball wasn't too bad.
I don't know. The team is a bit
okay.
on the ish.
At least I peeled for you, right? At least I peeled.
Good job.
Something will happen. That is the motto of all ball plays. Sometimes you might kill their entire team.
The lead is almost ours.
And sometimes you're playing pinball with a doorway. But the key is, something will happen eventually. And that's the problem. You sweaty Sojourn players want things now. You don't want to wait. Not only that, but your Discord kid and Pocket Mercy is getting tired. But I understand. 10 seconds in Overwatch feels like a year, let alone, I don't know, your ball setting up for 20 seconds. It's real painful. Hammond has so much potential, but his voice is never heard. And I'm totally sure it has nothing to do with the fact that they're never in team chat. But that's not important. I think with enough patience, you'll see that your ball setting up for 10 minutes is worth it. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. Definitely not. Everyone is dying. What happened? Here's a small list of things that make Hammond unfun to play. Sleep dart. Boop. Whip shot. Discord. Punch. Knife. Hook. Rock. Spinny. Javelin. Besides Brig, all of those things are really common. So, why am I still playing ball? Why do people still play him if there's all that shit to fight against? Well, simply put, he has so many unique interactions in so many unique ways, it's just fun to play. There's a mine there, Doom. Yeah. What other character allows you to walk out of spawn, get speared off the map, and then just laugh about it like nothing?
Kill regroup.
That's dubs. You Orisa. Sometimes you just win the game because your minefield cut off the entire enemy team from touching the point. Good luck with that.
Oh, you're dead.
Nice. Sometimes all it takes is to boop someone off the map and that just makes you feel good as a ball player. God, I'm good.
Nice.
Rolling out a spawn with a Lucio speed boost, one of the most fun things in the game. Gimme. Oh my god. My favorite thing to do as Wrecking Ball is the good old simple grapple into a pile drive into a group of enemies and then feed and then your team gets angry at you. It's so satisfying. He's also really good if you're waiting in queue for 20 minutes, just hop in the practice range and learn his tech and get better at his movement. But that's why we want to play ball. Why should you want a ball on your team? If you have a good Wrecking Ball player, and I mean good, I'm talking movement, aim, map knowledge, everything. If you have a good ball player, he will dominate everything. A good example is this clip that I'm showing right now. The enemy team is playing Winston and Echo and Cassidy and Ana. It's a race against the clock. Which tank can kill the backline first? Who can do more quickly? And this is why I say Hammond has the most potential in the game, because if you do master his kit, his movement, his aim, his everything, he does more than any character in the game. Yes, I'm talking Kiriko, Sojourn, Mercy, Hog, Orisa, anyone you could think of. The reason those characters are considered overpowered is because they can do so much, so easily, without being skill dependent. Unlike Ball, who can do more than them, but you need skill. And this is so important to understand. You don't need a Roadhog, you don't need an Orisa, you don't need a Sigma, you don't need whoever the f***. You just need to be good at your character. And Hammond has the best potential out of everyone, but it's squandered because people want to see Orisa, a Roadhog, Sigma. They're not giving Hammond a chance because they've seen other Ball players who do nothing because he's a complicated character. And then when someone that's actually good at Hammond comes around, they're like, I don't want to see it anyway. I'm not going to test my luck. I just want to go Orisa right now. That's the hard part of playing Ball and being good at Ball. Everyone just doubts you. They want their comfort pick, they want the Hog, they want the Orisa, they don't want to test anything, they want the win, and they don't care how they get it. And that's the problem, because if they don't care how they get the win, they just want the most efficient way possible, that sadly is going to mean a little bit of toxicity and telling you to get off the hero that you want to play, which is Hammond in this case. And that's the worst crime of all, because Hammond can flank, he can dive, he can peel, he can force enemies off high ground or just out of position in general. He can also draw enemy attention, he's extremely survivable, he can stall the point for a long time, he can zone people away with his ult, he can just kill people with his ult, he does extreme burst damage, he does extreme trickle damage from far away, he's insanely fast, he can be from one point to the other in seconds, he's so helpful in any scenario. All I'm saying is, if you have a Hammond on your team, work with him. Just give him a couple seconds to set up, don't walk directly into the front line, give it a second, and he might just carry you. Just give it a second. And I'm not even exaggerating about giving it a second, because you saw at the start of the video, people just instantly, you're not even allowed to walk around in the game in spawn before someone tells you to swap. It is insane. Give the Ball a second, let him set up, and he might just carry you to victory instead of forcing Roadhog and Orisa, which gets boring. And now for the more controversial part. I've been very nice because I understand Hammond's not really accepted in the community, but it's time to put my foot down and talk some shit. And this isn't gonna mean everyone, but there is definitely a demographic that I am talking to right now. And that is the annoying DPS players that expect too much while doing not much themselves. I understand that tanks are much stronger on their own than they were in Overwatch 1. I understand that, so the tanks are superpowered. That doesn't mean the DPS are underpowered, they're just as strong, or in some cases stronger, with the lack of one tank. There is a very common scenario. There is a DPS player talking a lot of shit and blaming the tank because they're not playing a meta character. These people think they don't have to put in as much effort as other people because tanks should be having the workload put onto them. So I have a little tip for these type of people. I just want you to know that in Overwatch 2, there's a little something called a scoreboard, and we can all see that you're doing the worst out of everyone in the server. When you're complaining about your tank, or your healers, or your other DPS, just remember, we can all see, including everyone on the enemy team, that you're doing the worst in the lobby. Just remember that. I need you to understand it, because there's a lot of times where you sound really dumb and you start talking at the end of a game, but everyone just holds tab and goes, well, there's kind of the statistics to see you're the only fucking idiot in the game. And now, that was just the DPS. There's a lot of things I can say about the support players. Let's say you have a Hammond on your team. Support players, you're gonna learn real quick what it looks like to have good positioning and bad positioning, and how it can really affect your game. And yes, I know there's quite a lot of overpowered characters in this game that kind of just ruin supports and roll them instantly. But there are support players that think it's okay to just stand in the middle of the open, get shot, hang back 20 years away from their team, push up way too far for the support they're playing, and think it's someone else's fault. And the worst part is, supports that are like this, I'm not saying like every support, the supports that are like this aren't taking accountability. Because a lot of big content creators and a lot of people are just saying things like supports are weak and blah blah blah, all of these things. It gives a lot of people a reason to complain, play like dog and say it's not their fault. Every person needs to take some form of accountability, and support players are the ones not doing it the most because they have a common sentiment about, my character's just weak, support's weak, why should I you know, be the one reflecting on my actions. And I know that was quite harsh what I said. I did sound like a very disappointed parent that kind of just lost their shit. But the reason I'm being very stern here is because I read all of my comments, and especially the one on Ana. I see a lot of people with genuine criticism, genuine advice. Lots of people saying that they're growing and that they're understanding the game more often, and they're doing all of these things, and they're learning, they're swapping to the characters that they need, they're playing characters that they enjoy, and they're getting better. They're saying all of these things. But these people with genuine, like, smart brain cells and that are actually good players that are learning and adapting and evolving are getting overshadowed by the incompetent support players going on Twitter, going on TikTok, making dumb like ideas and what they should do. The problem is, I don't like that there's a good side of support players that are genuinely skilled and understand it's a skillful role to take, but people are complaining about it and want it to be a baby easy role. That's not what it should be. And I'll say it one more time just to be very, very clear. I understand that there is a lot of shit that support players have to deal with, but it is no excuse to not take accountability, play like dog shit, go on Twitter, and make the worst takes known to mankind. That's all I'm saying. So why did I talk about this? Why did I just go on a hate speech rant for about 3 minutes? Why did I do this? Well, in some weird fucking way, it's almost revenge. Kind of like the ball players have been discriminated long enough, so I'm just speaking my mind. And it's specifically why I'm doing it on this hamster video, the Hammond Wrecking Ball character, because he's the character that gets the most flack. So it was more kind of just like, this whole thing was just an elaborate setup to say, hamster's good, stop being fucking annoying. That's basically what this video was. It was a lead up to that. Anyway, that's this, that's that, that's done. The video's done. Basically, if you haven't seen my last video, in the comments, I basically said, I'm trying out different types of videos. More factual, more funny, more whatever. So the reason I'm uploading this video earlier, right, because I try to do a week upload thing, is because my third and final test will be a highly edited video. And I just want to see, and it's going to take more time, so I'm going to need more time to work on it. Hence, this is why I'm uploading it right now, this video now. Anyway, that's about it. So, it's going to be highly edited. If you don't see me in a while, that's probably why. I hope it's good. Don't feel afraid to tell me it's shit, because the whole point of it is to test what people like. Goodbye, thank you, much love. Sorry for all the hate speech.